Managing your sites on IM Buyers Club hosting. Best practices for adding a domain to a WordPress 1 package and creating a site. Changing the name servers well in advance if possible is good practice. Thanks to that your club hosting accounts now are preloaded with hosting plans, adding domains to the hosting packages is now very easy. A package is called an allowance in this process. In this case, I'm adding a WordPress site with a domain that will be used for the stack site offer with the new Spectra One theme and plugin, created especially for the new full site editing in WordPress 6.2. A couple of minutes after you have clicked the Add Hosting button, your new site will be available in your list of hosting packages and ready for management. When you click on Manage, you will be taken into the control panel for the site. Now you might want to start to install WordPress, but I recommended that you first do some checkups and settings. Here are the steps I like to follow. Checking that the domain has propagated with the new name servers. If the domain has not propagated, you will see a notice about that to the right, below the information about Aroga web hosting. In this case, there is no notification, which means that the propagation is ready and that we can continue with the preparation for installing WordPress. The second step I do is to check the PHP version. Never mind what it says about the default version. You should use version 8.1 for a new site as of now, but if the site you plan to install has any themes or plugins that demand any other version, you should select it accordingly. In the PHP configuration, I recommend that you increase all the memory levels from 128 meg to 512 and change the max _input _vars from 2500 to 3000. The next step is to create your mailboxes for this domain. I normally create 2 mailboxes, one for admin and the other for mail. You can create as many as you need. I also add one email forwarder with my name to my ordinary email address. Step number 5 is to, temporarily during setup, deactivate the edge caching on the CDN network. You can do that either by activating the development mode or deactivating global edge caching. If you chose to deactivate the global caching, you must remember to activate again when your site is ready. Now it is time to install the free Let's Encrypt SSL certificate. It takes at least half an hour for this to propagate inside the 20i system. I always also switch on the force HTTPS already from the beginning. Finally, it is time to install WordPress. It's a standard process that you probably already are familiar with. Use a strong password and remember to copy and save it before you click Enter. Remember also to use something other than admin as a username. When you log into your site for the first time, it's a good habit to check that the URL is the correct URL and not the staging URL. In this case, with the name servers well propagated, the setup used the ordinary URL. If the name server change had not been ready, the URL would have been the temporary staging URL. I will cover that case in a separate video. There are a couple of more things to do before you can start adding themes and plugins. You should exempt the WP admin area from the CDN edge caching in the stack cache setup. Change the URLs to HTTPS. You will then be logged out and asked to log in again with the new URL but using the same credentials. Set up the permalinks. Now your new site is ready for adding the themes and plugins, and we will continue with that in the next video. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video.